Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. It's in the description below, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing something that approaches the best value available in complicated watchmaking. This is the Longines Master Complete Calendar Chronograph, and boy, does it pack a suite of refinements. Day, date, month, moon phase, a 24-hour indicator, thus AM, PM, a chronograph with column wheel, automatic winding with a 54-hour power reserve, in a 42mm steel case from a great brand that has been around and will be around. The timepiece on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, wears nicely. The 42mm case size doesn't feel excessively large. Given the 49.1mm lug-to-lug span, it's not as broad across the wrist as I expected. The thickness of the watch is reasonable at 14.4mm thick, and it has a 21mm spacing between the lugs, so it has a nice broad proportional footing, even as it has a bit of a vintage-inspired case and dial design. I would recommend it for wrists as small as 14 centimeters circumference, and you can see it would fit underneath most cuffs. Taking a look at the hardware and the software, I'm actually impressed by what you get here. Given the price of the watch, I would have expected calfskin. Instead, we actually get medium rectangular scale alligator leather with some bolstering to add volume. It is a medium brown with a contrasting ecru off-white stitch, and then you can see sheer construction on the side, the sheer showing the layers of leather. On the underside, you can see this is a brand new Longines factory strap. It's calfskin on the underside, and instead of the pin buckle you'd expect at this price point, you get a remarkably intricate double deployant clasp with twin trigger release. Also impressive is there's a little lock on the underside of the clasp. On some very expensive watches, you will see a screw-fixed buckle, like on Vacheron, for example, and the screw-fixed buckle will ensure that even the deployant clasp can't slip off the strap, leading to droppage while you don or remove at bedside. Well, here we have a little pincer that closes and locks. It snaps into place, and it locks the buckle onto the strap. So the strap can't slip out of the buckle when you open the deployant clasp. That is not expected at this price point. Heck, I've seen $100,000 watches with clasps that don't include anything like that. Now, the case itself is relatively simple. You can see this stamped case features a little bit of a nominal beveling on the edge of the lugs. The lugs are fairly squared off. The mid-case is simple and polished, and then it gives way to a domed bezel. There's not a whole lot of visual nuance here, but it's a handsome, harmonious form. You can also see that the pushers have shoulders to protect against excessive displacement or shearing, and then we have a crown, which is a push-down crown, and features a Longines logo on it. The watch is 30 meters water resistant. The dial features stamped guilloche, and there's a sort of pyramid, or one might say a hobnail texturing to the dial, and it features a Rayhaut outboard, a sort of sloped chapter ring that unifies the bezel and the dial base. Simple black on silver white printing for all of the numerals, and you can see outboard there's a chronograph in minutes scale, and then inboard of that we have a scale that reads from 1 to 31, that is your lunette indicated radial date, and then inboard of that in a lovely vintage font we have the hour track, and then inboard of that we have a couple of mono counters. They are actually coaxial registers. You can see you have the day and the month with chrono minutes up at 12 o'clock. You have chrono hours and a moon phase down at 6 o'clock, and then you have a combination of constant seconds and a 24-hour index over at 9 o'clock. And what that 24-hour index does, and I'll show you how this works, is it lets you know whether you're looking at the first half or the second half of the day, so you know when not to use the calendar correctors, the danger zone, in other words. So right now I'm looking at 3, but is it 3 in the morning or is it 3 in the afternoon? And you can see that little 24-hour indicator is planted right where 15 would be, so you know you're looking at 3 p.m. right there. Now the watch does include a quick set system. You are able to accelerate the lunette date, and this is also responsible for jumping the month. Now the watch features a stop second or hacking mode. You can see if I pull the crown, everything comes to a halt. And then I flip it over and you can see the caliber L2.773.4.78.3, and let's just be perfectly honest with what this is. This is a 7750 base architecture, but changes have been made to its functionality. The biggest change, as you can see, is the addition of a column wheel where the cam system would normally be. It makes for crisp actuation, and it's an upscale refinement unanticipated on a watch in this price point. Unidirectional winding, the watch has a 54-hour power reserve, and it also includes another refinement, which is the power reserve itself. As a standard 7750 would be between 42 and 46 hours, so getting 54 here, just over 2 days. It's a refinement you don't expect in this price point. Now, all the finishing here is mechanical, but the movement is good looking and of high grade. I mentioned that it's 30 meters water resistant, and truthfully that does describe the watch, which beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. A great looking movement, pivots on 27 joules, and of course you're getting a lot of sophistication for not a lot of money here. As a Swatch Group brand, Longines will always be around to take care of you too, adding peace of mind for the long term. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.